What's up, good people? Today we're going to talk about a big word, boundaries. And by big, I mean powerful. When you set healthy boundaries in your life, things change. People around you switch up, people get upset. They make you out to be the villain. They'll say you're mean, you're uncaring, you're not the sweetheart you used to be, you're not kind anymore, whatever. But none of this is true. It's actually the opposite. See, when you develop healthy boundaries and you stand on those boundaries, people will feel away because you are no longer that person they can walk all over. You now speak up for yourself. You no longer tolerate the disrespect. You no longer tolerate the lack of reciprocity. You no longer tolerate the breadcrumbing. You no longer tolerate being taken advantage of and taken for granted. And the list goes on and on and on. You no longer tolerate lack in all forms across the board. So people will see this as mean because they can no longer move with you how they used to move with you. They'll make you the villain and talk about you, back off from you. You'll stop hearing from them little by little, which is a good thing. And, they'll say you've changed because indeed you have changed for the better. People who are accustomed to crossing boundaries don't really vibe too well with people who have boundaries because 9 times out of 10, people who cross boundaries don't really have boundaries themselves, which is why they are a boundary crosser. So, short story, I had someone in my life who I used to be friends with, and she crossed a huge boundary with me. And I voiced how I felt and I removed myself from the friendship. She wanted to talk about us, rekindling our friendship, and I wasn't interested. We ran into each other often, and I would still speak to her, cordial, we're acquaintances. I can disassociate myself from someone, but that doesn't mean that I have to dislike you. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't have to be mean to you. I don't have to ignore you. I don't have to be petty with you. I think that comes with a certain level of maturity. However, because I didn't move the same way with her, she felt away. She shared with me, no, she thought that I was mean. And that's because she no longer had access to me like she once did. I wasn't mean, of course. I was the same person. I didn't call anymore. I didn't text anymore. I didn't check in anymore. I didn't try to hang out anymore. I didn't refer to her as sis anymore. I called her by her name. She opted out of the relationship via her behavior. See, I expect the same as I give. I expect reciprocity on all levels. I not only have standards, I have expectations. I live in great expectation of great things, and that includes friendship. I remove many people from my life or love them from afar due to my boundaries being crossed. That is a hard stop for me. I do not allow people to cross my boundaries because I'm not going to cross yours. And it's a respect thing. When you respect someone, you don't cross their boundaries. When you love someone, you don't cross their boundaries. You respect them. You're going to abide by the rules that they have set for themselves because you want them to be in a healthy space. Because when we cross boundaries, that causes self betrayal to set in. And I'll talk about that later. But yeah, you want people to be healthy. You want people to feel good about themselves. Why do you want to, when you love someone, why do you want to cross their boundaries? They tell you that that's a boundary and don't do that, and you still do it. What are you getting out of that? So those people don't belong in your life. They're reckless and they're careless and they don't care about you or your feelings or your emotions or you as a person. I believe in grace because I want grace. I believe in forgiveness because I want forgiveness. But forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. I can forgive you and not reconcile with you. I'll forgive you. We'll move forward. No grudges held, but there will be no reconciliation. And that's how I feel. That's me. I paid attention to my lesson and I learned it. I learned what I needed to learn. And that's it. When people show you who they are, believe them. I believe people when they show me who they are. You will no longer have access to me. I forgive you, yes. Give you grace, yes. But you will never have access to me again. I don't take it as a slight on myself. I don't beat myself up like, oh, what's wrong with me? Or how could I have been better? And that's what, will usually happen when you aren't operating in, a true, authentic self-love. You'll blame yourself. Don't blame yourself for someone crossing your boundaries. And you can blame yourself if you continue to let them cross those boundaries. Now, you can blame yourself for allowing them to come into your life, but don't blame yourself for their behavior towards you. That's on them to own, not you. Don't make excuses for other people's behavior. And I'm guilty of that. I used to be that person. The old me would make excuses for people's behavior and allow them to continue to be in my life and continue to cross my boundaries. But the self loving, wise, powerful me, nah, I don't accept or make excuse for people's unhealthy, bad behavior. And I developed that through healing. I had to go through my own healing journey. And through my own healing journey, I developed boundaries and how I was going to allow people to treat me or lack thereof. And I just wasn't going to allow certain people to be in my life and move how they wanted to move with me. It's not fair to me, right? So it's not fair to you. When someone crosses a boundary with you one time, they're usually going to cross them again when you forgive them and be like, okay, cool, we can move forward. And it may be cool for a little bit, but the boundary's crossed again. Is the saying, give them an inch, they take a mile? It's true. It's true. It's just the nature of people. You want people around you who are not going to cross boundaries. You want people around you who are going to move like you move, who are going to vibrate on the same frequency that you vibrate on. Because you realize when things happen and when people move certain ways with you or they do something, you're like, man, I wouldn't have done that. Or I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have moved like that. How could they do that? Why did they do that to me? Because they don't vibrate on your frequency. They're not on your level. You need people around you that are on your level. When people are on your level, they're going to think like you. They're going to move like you. So they're not going to do things to you that are going to hurt you because they're going to think like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that because I know how I would feel. I know how I would feel if that was done to me. Or I'm not that type of person, so I'm just not going to move like that. Those are the type of people that you want in your corner, the people who move like you. When we allow people to cross our boundaries, we betray ourselves. It's called self betrayal. What is self betrayal? Self betrayal is basically going against your own values, your own needs, your own intuition, letting someone cross your boundaries to appease them, AKA people pleasing. You know what that leads to? Low self worth, lack of self esteem, lack of self confidence, self resentment, and the list goes on. No, thank you. That is giving your power away. No one deserves that much power. Don't give your power away to people. Don't bend your boundaries to appease other people. If they get upset, let them get upset. People who love you and respect you are not going to get upset because you have implemented boundaries. People who do get upset, they're no longer able to move how they used to move with you. So it's a problem for them now. Set those boundaries and stand on them. And that comes by focusing on you. Where the focus is, energy flows. You give power to what you focus on, it grows. You focus on you and love you and empower you and affirm yourself and watch how your life transforms. Don't allow people to make you feel away because you have boundaries. Boundaries are very, very powerful and crucial tool. They make you powerful and make you feel powerful within yourself because it shows what you will and will not tolerate from others. How you choose or not choose to give away your time, your energy, your space, and your emotions. Self love, self empowerment will give you that confidence that you need to speak up for yourself, to walk in your true authority, and to stand on your boundaries. You feel lighter, more lighthearted, and more in tune with who you are. And you'll be proud of yourself because you stood up for yourself. Your best relationship, and I say this all the time, your best relationship is your relationship with yourself. So always stand up for you. You are your own best friend. Talk to yourself nice. Speak to yourself kind. Uplift yourself. Stand up for yourself. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Shantavia Speaks. If this has resonated with you, like, share, subscribe, hype this video, leave me some comments below. Let's talk about it. Until next time, make it a great day. Thank you so much. Much love and peace.